What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 147, officially.
Yes. Let's do our thank yous
Yeah.
first, and then we'll get into why it's really 147.
Thank you to Sean Nanigans from Edge VR
nice.
Arcade and Creative Edge for making Strictly Blizzness possible.
Yes. So we did not have technical difficulties, although Sean did a great job of making it look like we had technical difficulties 2 weeks ago, because yours truly had just way too much going on, and they were in studio and I did not get here, so it was not good for them. But they still made the most of it.
I guess
really Ryan could have done his own show.
Could have. I won't do that. I don't like that.
You don't like that? Okay. Well, he could have, but he didn't.
Yep.
All right. So, let's talk.
Yes.
It's our time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on right now. This is a show about behind the scenes. There's a lot happening with the league that I can't share yet. We're working on a schedule diligently, trying to put all those puzzle pieces together. We always say that we'd like something by October 1. The reality of that is tough, just because a lot of arenas, we have a lot going on in Green Bay because of the NFL draft coming. So we know our dates and are very secure in the dates that we have available. But there's other arenas where they don't put that priority on football because it is so much more into the future. We realize that you can't build dates and themes if you don't have dates, and you can't have dates because of your arena not thinking you need dates.
Yeah.
Is all just
right.
It's just a little whirlpool. So we're working on all of that. So that's my update from the league perspective. Is there'll be announcements that'll be coming out. I can tell you that we are signing players. October 1 is a very important date in our league, because that's when, you can be talking to players right now. You just can't sign anybody from there's no free agency yet until that October 1 date. So we'll have posts about the guys that have re-signed. We'll have posts about new guys coming and their position, all of that good stuff on another episode. Won't be on this one.
Correct.
But we have something special for this one that Ryan's going to do most of the talking. I'm just going to ask questions.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, when you watch this, it's October 1 will have passed, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, correct?
Correct.
And so one of our themes that will be coming back is the Blackout Breast Cancer game. So I guess we talked before about all of it. So if you want to play Q&A, that's
we can do
you had a
Q&A.
great idea of what goes into that. How do we find the sponsors, why the theme night's back, what we can and can't share, because there's some really cool stuff about that game that we'll allude to, but we can't share yet.
Yeah, so right. So there's the cat's out of the bag. One of our theme nights is going to be a breast cancer night, whether it's awareness, fighting for a cure. There's so many different battles that go on with breast cancer.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and just some of the stats that are out there. It used to be 1 in 4. It's now 1 in 3. So if there's 3 women sitting at a table, one of those 3 will have either had breast cancer, experience a breast cancer scare, or be going through breast cancer. So it's definitely something that is very prevalent, especially in Brown County. Brown County has one of the highest incidences in the Midwest of breast cancer. So you have to look at that and say, is that because of water? Is that because of something environmental? Is it because of, the settlement of people and what genetically might have, come to this area? There's all sorts of different things that might be the case.
Yeah.
So,
so last season we had a really good response to it from corporate partners and survivors, fighters, all of the words that go with that, and especially with Ribbon of Hope, just a lot of good reasons to bring the game back, and no different than any other theme night we worked with. It's just you want to continue to grow it. It was on a weekend where youth sports had fired up and stuff, so not the highest attended game, and that's okay, because those games, like you look at the teddy bear toss that the Gamblers did, that didn't start at 6,000 people. And both importance to you and Larry about the cause and just general and through new partners, I think that game will continue to grow.
well,
and
you
be
had
something
people
we work on.
Yeah, that you had people that reached out to you that weren't part of that game, but definitely have a focus on breast cancer, and they said, "Hey, we really liked this. We want to be a part of it next year."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, first of all, the Ribbon of Hope folks and the Aurora Baycare Breast Reconstructive Group and that group. I think it's Baycare. I was confused. Aurora Baycare is really confusing as to who's accountable for what or responsible for
Yeah.
what there. Um, but yeah, there was a lot of interest that not go away and kind of be a connecting point for Bras of the Bay. That's one other thing we can show on here too, because that voting will go live here
Yes.
pretty quick.
We have a bra in the bay.
Yes, we did that. We didn't throw one in the water like that sounds, but
Well,
um,
it's bras of the bay, and we'll talk
yeah,
about that in a little bit,
yeah.
but
So
go
just
ahead.
a real cool interest from that group, and then just through some other connections with the Cherry Optical Group, who we should be working with on that game. It's not officially yet, but some good people there as well. So
So I think the awareness piece, and let's just go back to, again, behind the scenes. When we pick a theme, we don't just rando pick a theme out of thin air,
yeah,
right? We try to incorporate, who do we want in the stands? Is there a cause associated with it? Who's going to benefit from the cause? How do we reach out to the various groups that might benefit from a cause like that,
yeah,
and promote their awareness? Because this isn't just about coming to our game.
no,
We want to
no,
promote awareness to those people who are suffering, have survived, or have lost someone, of the different things that are out there for you, um, different groups, different organizations that can help you through things like this or support you. Obviously, so many people, for years, it was always the American Cancer Society, right?
yeah,
Well, cancer has so many different forms. I mean, you see new ribbons come up all the time because there are so many types of cancer. This is a focus on breast cancer. It's the pink ribbon. It's, blackout cancer, is what we're looking to do and hope for someday
yeah.
have happen, a cure for breast cancer.
Yeah, there'll be. I mean, as we get to unpack the other theme nights in here, there'll be a lot of. I think a couple more cause-based theme nights too this year that fit our normal fun, entertaining thing. But I think it's a unique opportunity to lean in on those and do some cool things around them and bring awareness in a fun way too. So
Yeah, I know that we had women at that game last year. There were a couple of groups that were rallying with one another, one going through the reconstructive process, one just being diagnosed, one that was a survivor. I had a survivor on the field with me. So many varying degrees of breast cancer, and yet they could have fun. They could celebrate their life
yeah,
or the lives of someone they lost, and that's really what we try to do when we build a theme. So we're building the ball. We'll show the ball. That's what the ball's going to look like. Um, so when we build a theme night, it's not just we pull it out of thin air. We take months, and this game that we're planning for 25 actually started at the game for
yeah,
24.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where we're not going to start planning stuff in January for something that's going to happen in April.
Right, right.
We're doing it now.
Yeah, and
Uh,
we do know when, just without the league schedule out. I don't really
yeah, we
know
don't
if
want to
we're
say
at
that.
liberty to share home games, to Kathy's point, because it doesn't exist yet, even though we know when, because we can only give the league certain dates because of the draft. That's not us not giving the league what they need. It's just we don't have the normal what we can provide because of what the draft does, not just in April, but in March and May, what it does to the surrounding months of when it'll be here. So,
Yeah, it
yeah,
don't get me wrong, it's fantastic that people are going to be able to experience Green Bay through the NFL eyes. I don't If it were up to me, like if I was the sovereign of Green Bay, I would not have done this. It's bringing things to Green Bay, sure, for a window of time, exposure to Green Bay, sure, for a window of time, but it's also damaging a lot of businesses in that area because we are right in the middle of a city block, literally. The arena is, or the stadium is, and it affects our arena because our arena is literally right next door to said stadium. So that whole area has to be cordoned off for the NFL. And I get that they have safety protocols and all of the other things that they have to do. They have to build stuff, they have to be safe, but that affects that community, and it's a small community around around the stadium.
Yeah.
So there's always that flip side. The NFL is going to make money off of it. I don't know if the Packers will make money off of it. I hope they do. I hope they
Right.
get something for it.
Yeah.
Um, they'll get the awareness, that's for sure. But I don't know. Yes, it'll bring money to the community for that period of time, but it's also costing people quite a bit. So that's
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. So we do know when, and it'll be a real cool fit again, with some neat stuff post game that we really can't unpack because there's some
Right.
logistics that have to go into what we're trying to do there. If you like the laser show, you should probably watch for when we can share about this game. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be another post game thing, not 20, 30 minutes, but it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So yep.
And when we can share the schedule, then we'll talk about why we chose it in this slot versus that slot. I mean, we've said this before that Ryan takes a calendar of everything that's happening locally, nationally, entertainment wise, and we try to coordinate our themes with all of that. So it's definitely something that takes some time and some effort to work through. So
yeah. What else might I not have covered that you think people would want to know?
So we've talked about the different sponsors. We've talked about what the ball's going to look like. We obviously have the jerseys from last year.
Yep.
So there are the black jerseys with the pink on them, which were a fan favorite as well as a team favorite, and I know a coach favorite for sure. So that will all, there'll be repeat stuff that we can use and yet new stuff that we'll be bringing to the table. So I think all in all, it'll be a great game. Be a great game.
Yeah. I'm excited to get to share about that one when we can. So
yeah. So let's do a introduction to something new, and this is league wide. This is not just for the Blizzard. Our balls are going to change.
Yeah.
The ball supplier is now
Destroyer Rocks.
Destroyer Rocks, who has we've gotten merch from them. We got merch from them last season. They are now our league wide sponsored ball. So there's a league ball that's going to be coming out, which we will have available in our merch stand. That'll be the official IFL ball of the 2025 season. If we don't have themes, that's the ball we would use. But we have themes every game, as well as balls for every game. So we won't be using an IFL ball unless, playoff run. We would definitely be using the league balls. But for our every game, we won't have that. But they will be available to you in our merch stand. So we're looking forward to the new relationship. It's, I think, something that we needed to do for a lot of various reasons. But I think one of the cool things about it is there's kind of a timing thing that's a little bit different than before. So you've gotten all of our artwork in, correct? Or just about?
I just haven't heard from them. They're in the thick of
all of the
Jeff.
teams.
Well, no, Jeff is in Jacksonville, so he was worried about not being able to respond because of the hurricane. So I don't know if he's working right now because he had mentioned he might not get back to us. But yeah, I submitted on time to answer your question. It's just he is directly affected by the hurricane from what I understand. So
so let's talk about that a little bit, bringing that up. I was leaving that for the wrap up, but we should touch on that. It's amazing to me. So my cousin lives in Georgia and she's north of Atlanta and got hit really hard. Some of my customers that are in Tennessee also hit very hard. It was hard to believe that it hit that far inland. I mean, Asheville, which has the Biltmore, that got hit, and that's in the mountains. I mean, that's just so with hurricanes and this type of weather, it's not just the coast. It came inland and hit a lot of towns very seriously. So obviously Jacksonville, in our thoughts, absolutely. They're in the IFL, very strong partner in the IFL. So hopefully they were probably personally hit. I don't know about, their arena or anything like that of that nature, but definitely shout out to all of them and any of you that are watching from that southeast. Our hearts go out to you for sure, and hope that you have water. There's a lot of people without electricity. It's millions right now. So
yeah, So yes, artwork was in. So
Artwork's in.
yep.
We're ready to rock. We got uniforms coming. We should probably talk about that.
Yeah, I have no idea what
Okay,
most
so
recent mocks are, to be honest.
yeah, so we don't
Yep.
have that. Has to get solidified by the time you guys see this episode as well. We have the new Adidas relationship, which we've talked about before. The Adidas jerseys will be our home and away jerseys, and basically the league now will have a unified look. You've seen it on some of the games within the IFL where all of our uniforms look just a little bit different because they were all from different vendors. Now they're all from the same vendor. They are Adidas in nature, so you'll see the Adidas logo on them. You'll also see Adidas on the sidelines with our coaching staffs and any players on the sidelines. So that's definitely a new look, a unified look that we're bringing to the arenas in 2025. So as soon as we get the finalized artwork, and we could probably share it on our next episode, what the uniforms will look like.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of deadlines.
It is deadline
It's actually
crazy
I feel
right now.
behind because of playoff games are cool, but I try and get a jump on all the stuff we're talking about way sooner than I have to right now. So yeah. It's just a lot of, and you're talking about a field order, a dashboard system, all the stuff that hopefully I'll get to share some next episode, because by the time this airs, I will have walked with the Dasher team to measure the Gamblers hockey walls and stuff. So I'll get to share some of what the heck that process is. But it's just a lot of busy work.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Take some pictures when you're doing that walkthrough
Yep.
so we can share those. We've said before we're getting a new field, so solidifying the artwork. We got some great sponsors on the field, and I think it's going to look fantastic. And then if anybody knows of anyone that needs a field, we will be selling our current Blizzard field without the end zones, though. We're going to keep the end zones. Well, you wouldn't want the end zones anyway because they say Blizzard on them.
They won't be the new end zones, but just
Correct.
for nostalgic reasons or reasons we can unpack later. So
right.
I don't want people
we're
to watch
not
that and be like, we're going to put the same end zones with a new field. Nope.
No.
So.
No, let's clarify that.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Okay. That's all I got.
That's what I got too. There's a lot coming up. So we'll hit that point very soon. So we'll get to talk about schedule, unpack the rest of stuff and footballs and so.
Yeah, and then the holidays will be here in no time.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about what training camp is going to look like, being a month prior to the NFL draft. We have a lot of different, we'll call them shenanigans going on during the season because of that draft.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
That's what I got.
That's what I've got.
Should we hit him with it?
There we go. There it is. I gave you the cue already. It just seems when we don't do this weekly, we're a little off.
Yeah.
Let's hit him with it. Go Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.